Welcome to Try Again. Our show is a movie club where each week we try a new movie or try an old movie again to see if it holds up. And we're not professionals, we're just normal people that like to watch and review movies. And if you watch along, we stream the show live every week, and you can make your comments and they'll be on the show. So, with that said, let us start the show. We're reviewing this week Uncle Buck, starring John Candy from the 90s, I think. Or is it 80s? I don't remember. But John Candy is in it, indeed. So, Jess, what's your score? What's your score of, what's it called? Uncle Buck, the movie that we watched.
I'm gonna come up with it right now. It's gonna happen. Don't make the face that you're making right now. Stop it. Let's see. I think I'd probably give it 7.75.
Okay.
I like it. It's it's a John Hughes movie, which is awesome. It's an 80s movie. These are all the things I remember about the movie.
What? Rob says 5.5. I almost fell asleep.
What?
Wow.
I thought I was kind of harsh for giving it a 7.
Burn.
Man, my cheeks look like I just got my wisdom teeth taken out.
Okay.
Sorry. This is what we talk about when I don't care about the movie.
The show is going great, everybody. Ray
Anyways,
says 17. 7.7. I'm pretty sad about Rob's 5.5. Jeez. Any other triers have reviews?
Pretty rude.
Megan, did you watch it? Trisha?
Anyways, I thought it was really funny a lot of the time, and it's lovable because John Candy's in it. I don't know how you could not like that. So that's my review.
All right. I'm going to give it higher than that. I think I'm going to give it an 8.5. I think this is a fantastic movie, and I would totally watch it again. I thought it was very funny, actually, and that many parts of it were funny. But I also feel like this is a movie where John Hughes wrote it to make John Candy do a bunch of funny stuff. Like, what if I made John Candy flip a giant pancake with a snow shovel? What if I made John Candy punch a clown? A flown.
Clown.
Too late, I already did it. And, what if I made John Candy make jokes about somebody's mole? So I feel like that comes
There's
across.
nothing wrong with that, though.
I don't think so. I thought it was fine. But I totally loved it. Trisha says, I'm so old I saw it when I came out. I remember when it came out,
You guys are old together.
It was what, 20 plus years
Fogies.
ago. Let's see. Trisha says, I love it. Megan says, I'd say it's nostalgic for people. Rob never had seen it and isn't into that kind of old SNL humor. Hooray. Hashtag Mole Lives Matter. I think the humor was great. I really like, the first joke that I laughed out loud at was when you have Miles, who's played by Macaulay Culkin, is talking about the getting watched by some neighbor, and he's like, I don't like them. Their dog's a ball sniffer. And he keeps saying that word, and the mom's like, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that. He's like, I don't know the other word, And he keeps saying it over and over again. And he's like, what's the other word, Mom? And, nobody ever tells him. Then after, 5 minutes, he's like, oh, yeah, it's nuts. I thought that was great. Rob says, okay, I'll raise my score as I reflect on the names he has for his girlfriend's boobs.
I don't remember that.
Katie says, never seen it. I'm too young. I think it's worth it. We got varied reviews. I really liked it.
She's just trying to make us feel old.
Yeah. Maybe she really did see it after all. Okay. Rob's changing it to 6.5. Well, that's good. So that's enough of our regular reviews. Let's go to our spoiler reviews. Jess, what's your favorite part of the movie?
I don't remember a lot of it, but something that really sticks out to me is the part at the end where he is going to rescue his teenage niece from a creepy guy, and then finds out he's not with her anyways. And then he just starts, what does he start doing? I don't
He
even
drills
remember.
through the door.
No, not that part. It's after that. After he finds his niece and she's in the car.
Oh yeah, he hits golf balls at the
Oh
bad guy.
yeah. And I like how the guy's like, "You're gonna get in so much trouble," and he keeps like yelling stuff at him. And I kind of like expected him to be like, "Okay, yeah, that's true," but he just keeps going and just keeps like attacking him.
He doesn't care. He has no regard for the law. I like that part a lot. I think my favorite part is still the scene with the mole where, uh, so there's the daughter in the movie that John Candy is kind of like. If you haven't seen it, John is a big slob uncle. So Uncle Buck is this like total like loser guy, and he gets asked to watch his nephew and his nieces for a while, and he's like the most incompetent person ever. And he comes out and he ends up being a pretty good father figure to them, and really, lays down the law for the teenage daughter, and it ends up being like a really positive experience for everybody after a lot of resistance and everything. Anyway, one of the things that he has to do is go to sort of a conference with the assistant principal, I think, for like a 6-year-old girl. And the assistant principal has this giant, obvious mole on her chin. And the whole time, Uncle Buck is just making jokes about moles. And
On it, he's not trying to though. I don't think.
yeah, maybe it's supposed to be on accident, but
He starts off by not trying to, I feel like.
uh,
And then when he gets mad at the lady, then he starts talking about her mole on
yeah,
purpose.
he gives her a quarter to go pay a rat downtown to chew it off. I thought that was great. Let's see. Megan says, freeze frame of John Candy for the last minute. Feel good moment. Rob says, my fave was his crappy dad joke that he laughs at himself. What is his last name? Spray?
I
Okay.
don't remember that.
Megan says she was just kidding about the frame. Let's see. Trisha says, I like when he's talking about what to feed the dog, and she says not to let her drink out of the toilet because the blue water is bad for him. Yeah, that was a good part. I like where he makes the giant pancake breakfast. It's a fun thing. And where he punches the stupid jerk drunk clown. The hatchet. The hatchet is my other favorite part. When he talks about not to kill, just to maim a little bit. And he talks about shaving a little skin off the kneecap to the girl's boyfriend. And he's just going crazy. And Uncle Buck is just talking about, ask him if he still has his kneecaps. Yeah. Rob says Hatchet is good. Yeah. Hatchet was amazing.
I like the part with when he says he's gonna shave her head when she sleeps.
He's like, Trisha likes the rental car shoes part. The car boom.
Rental
yeah.
car shoes?
The rental shoes. Trisha likes the rental shoes.
You said rental car shoes.
I did. Oh,
You said rental car shoes.
not my fault. I think it's when they're going to go bowling. They're joking about that. Array says the car boom, which is when it actually happens multiple times. Uncle Buck picks up
Oh yeah.
the girl from school in his car, just has the exhaust explosion, and everybody ducks down because they think it's a gunshot. Katie
Which
says,
would be a lot less funny in today's time. Probably.
yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, with all the like school shootings that happen, it's like
Yeah,
kind
it'd
of a
be, like,
sensitive topic.
Sad and not funny at all.
Yeah.
But it's still funny because it was in the 80s.
Twas, or whatever year it was, we don't know. Katie says, you convinced me to watch this movie. I think it's good. You may or may not like it. It does have kind of an older sense of humor. It
has John Candy.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of if you like movies like Home Alone and other John Hughes movies, you probably like it. Rob says, I also like the smoky car. The car I drove in high school smoked worse than that, but it did not backfire. I started with a screwdriver. I would literally flood the high school parking lot with smoke. Awesome. Megan says, I just like how Bad A and is always being the gun cleaning dad type. The hatchet, the clown, mole lady, golf ball part. Yep. I like that too.
This is my issue with that.
Okay.
is that he's supposed to be this super irresponsible, like deadbeat guy, and he just shows up and is like uncle of the year, dad of the year. That seems kind of like, what's the word? Where it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Unrealistic.
Oh yeah, yeah, unrealistic. That's the word
Yeah,
for it.
that one.
I was thinking about that today, and I was like, maybe he's so good at parenting, is particularly with a teenage girl, because he's a sleazy guy. So he sees her as like, you know, he's a sleazy guy. So when a guy's talking to her, he's like, "Oh, I know what that guy's thinking. He's a dirtbag." So he's very protective or something like that. But yeah, it is a little bit far fetched that he's like this most incompetent guy ever, but he's also like the best father figure ever.
Yeah, they should have like given him like a gradual, you know,
Yeah.
incline or whatever.
Ray brings up the dish on the piano. He's
I
like,
don't remember that.
he grabs a dish, like one of their like china dishes or something like that, and it falls off and doesn't break on the floor. And he's like, "Wow, this thing's unbreakable!" And he hits it against the piano and it shatters.
Okay, I remember that. So I saw this movie a while ago. That's why I keep not remembering things. Just throwing that out there.
We shan't forgive you. Trisha says, Jess, he got a bad rap and didn't get a chance because the sis-in-law didn't like him. There you go. Jess actually watched it, Megan. She
I did
watched it
watch
just
it. It
it
was
was
like
like a month ago or
a
something.
couple months ago. So didn't watch it in anticipation for the podcast, so I wasn't really paying attention enough.
Also, Ray brings up the part where he shows up to the wrong house. I like that too. And he's like 2 a.m. and he's ringing the doorbell. He's banging on the door and yelling and everything.
Yelling.
He's at the wrong house. Rob brings up the part where the kid complains about onions in the eggs as a regular occurrence in our house. So that was always so funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, picky kids. Picky kids. Um, well, you have anything else to say about it, Jess, before we go on to our next segment?
It's just fun, you know?
So you're gonna stick with your 7.75? Is that what you gave it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty stingy. Like, I feel like 8 is like, wow, that was a really good movie. And this was a good movie. It was funny and lovable, but it wasn't like I don't know if I'd watch it again. I probably would.
I just love John Candy. It's
Me
even
too.
if the movie's not the best movie, I really just like looking at him and listening to his jokes. He's got some special quality that it just he's so great. He's so great. Um, we also watched The Great Outdoors recently. We both watched it for the first time, and it was like same thing where it's just I just love watching John Candy. He brings me joy. Um, okay, next segment is a new segment, and this is called Shout Out to Japan. So, if you're unfamiliar with why I'm talking about Japan, we have most of our listeners are actually from Tokyo, Japan. This is not a joke. This is totally true. I have no idea why. We do not offer the podcast in Japanese. I don't think we've ever had a guest who speaks Japanese. So, shout out to you guys in Tokyo. Thank you for listening to the show. And in our shout out to Japan segment, I would like to say Beyblades. Jess, would you like to say any Japanese thing to our Japanese fans? Or tryers, if you have any other
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Our kids like Beyblades and Pokemon. I actually like Pokemon.
Oh
To a
yeah.
certain degree. To a certain degree.
We dressed up as Team Rocket for Halloween, so we are kind of into Pokemon.
Rob says MHW, which is for Monster Hunter World. This is he's playing that game. I'm playing that game. Yeah, message me, Japanese friends, and I would love to play Monster Hunter with you. Get carried by you on tempered Nergigante or something like that. So
Carried by you.
we know. I even taught my kids. If you see Japanese characters in players when you SOS into Monster Hunter, those are good players. Those are people who are serious about Monster Hunter. Trisha says,
That's
"Domo
benevolent
arigato, Mr. Roboto." What was that? Sticks?
benevolent racism,
Is it?
just for the record,
Well,
probably.
I don't know.
But
It's
it's
just
true.
fact that
Every time our daughter plays Splatoon, which is also a Japanese thing, if she sees someone with like Asian, uh, what are they called? Letters?
characters.
Characters, that's the word I was looking for. She's like, "Oh, yes, we're gonna be so good." Because it's like a team thing.
Yep,
Anyways,
she knows.
she knows.
Kurt brings up KH3, which I assume is Kingdom Hearts 3, another Japanese thing. Which I don't know if you know about Kingdom Hearts, Jess, but it's the merging of like Final Fantasy and Disney.
I used to work at a video game store, so I definitely know about Kingdom Hearts. Thanks for trying
All
to.
right. Well, this concludes our shout out to Japan segment. I hope to get a cool little song that goes between segments.
Dun, 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 dun.
Is
Is that
that
even Japanese?
I probably not. It's
Oh,
like Asian and old, but it's more like
sorry.
stereotypical Americanized Asianness. So I don't know. Kurt says
We
Naruto is life. So thanks for all your participation in the shout out to Japan segment. We love you, Japan. Keep listening to the podcast. Hey, and for any of you who speak English, come on the show, and we'd love to have you on to review a movie. One of those like fun kaiju movies or something like that would be a good time if you like that stuff. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Next segment is the random questions segment. Jessica, what is your random question?
So, my random question is, who would be the best celebrity babysitter? And that's just going off just how cool John Candy is as a babysitter. So,
Okay. Are you going to call somebody?
Todd?
Sorry, this is so cheesy. Okay. Well, let's see. I don't know why. I don't know if he would be the best, but I think David Bowie would be a pretty good babysitter based on his babysitting abilities in Labyrinth.
Oh
He is
no!
able to keep a baby alive with a bunch of goblins around, so I think he would be.
Tossing it in the air and
Yeah, he's
stuff.
pretty good. He knows how to handle a baby.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, Trisha
I'll
says
allow it.
Jim Carrey. Oh, that'd be fun.
He was a good babysitter in no, I don't know. But he'd be fun.
He would. He would.
My answer is Samuel L. Jackson. When the kids are like putting up a fuss about going to bed, like go the F to sleep. You know?
Yeah, in a Samuel L. Jackson voice.
Yeah, he actually like read that book.
Yep, that would be a good babysitter.
He'd be a nice stern babysitter.
He would. He would. Next question. It's gonna go to me. Well, Megan says any ripped dude with long hair and eyeliner. Okay, Megan wants Aquaman to be her babysitter. Is he babysitting you or your kids? That is the question.
Uh,
Okay, let's see. Kurt says Morgan Freeman. That would be nice. Also, he narrates everything that you do. That kid is walking down there curiously.
that's a really bad Morgan
It was
Freeman
just a deep voice. I don't know. I feel like if
calm, deep voice.
I don't want to impersonate a black man's voice, because you can't. There's lots of rules there. It's racist if you do it wrong. So I'm just doing a deep voice. Okay, Megan says I'd go with Ryan. Man, Megan wants a lot of dudes to babysit her. His parents.
We never figured out if it was her or her kids.
I think it's just her. Okay. My question is, Uncle Buck was a huge loser, and he had everything wrong with him. He was into all like the worst possible stuff. Um, but how would they make him worse if they wanted to make him more of a loser kind of guy? Triers, this question goes to you too, of course. Okay. And Jessica, I pick you to answer the question.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Just kidding. um, this is going well. Um, what was the question again?
How
Oh,
could you
how
make
could he
Uncle
be?
Buck worse? More of a bad guy or a loser or a
Um, I
sleazy
think
guy?
he could live with his parents.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
No offense to any
To our
friends
family
or
members who
family
live
who
with
live
their
with their
parents.
parents.
Okay, but I mean like live with his parents with no intention of ever moving out. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, okay. Megan says, I never said any other dude. I meant for my kids. Sure you did. Aquaman? Really? You want Aquaman for your kids?
Why? What makes him such a good babysitter?
I guess he takes care of the sea pretty well, so there's that. Megan says I take Katy Perry or Gwen Stefani. Nothing would be cooler. Let's see. Trisha says if he left them in the basement the whole time. Amanda says he could have made him more of a sleazeball in his reactions to Marcy instead of how he did in the movie. Oh, okay.
Is Marcy is it Lori? What's her butt?
Marcy's the small one. What?
Oh, it's a girl?
Marcy?
I don't remember.
Oh no, Marcy is Lori Metcalf. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what I was saying.
She looks so different. I think Megan's trying to say she didn't say Aquaman, but I feel like she said Aquaman. I can't
I
scroll
heard
back.
Aquaman.
Can't scroll back in the comments.
I'm pretty sure it was Aquaman times 5.
Aquaman.
Sorry.
Okay, so my thing to make him sleazier is his what's his girlfriend's name in the movie? I can't remember. She has like kind of a weird name, doesn't she?
I don't
I
remember.
think she does. I can't remember off the top of my head. But she's a stripper and she's trying to get him to work at the strip club. Also, John Candy is working at the strip club. That's the best I got. No laughs out of you, Jess?
Sorry, I was distracted. I was reading the comments.
Oh, I'm here for the comments, kind of. I guess I'm probably ahead of you with the comments. I don't know. Okay.
Shanice? Is that
Shanice. Her name was Shanice. Yes.
Rob says he'd be sleazier if he hit on his sister-in-law. He
Yeah.
should have done that.
Yeah.
He should have done that.
Little butt grab on her way out. Actually, he tried to kiss her. He totally tried to kiss her at the beginning. It wasn't hitting on her. It was a brother-in-lawly kiss, as brother-in-laws do, you know.
Yeah, you do that all the time.
Yeah, I
with
do that all
everybody.
the time. All of my sister-in-laws get the smooches. So he leans over to her, and she's just like, eh. Anyway. Yep. Okay. I think that's it for random questions. They were random. Okay. Well, let's talk about next week. The next week is going to be... Shall I say it? Do you not want to do it?
Canceled.
Here's the deal, guys.
Canceled.
Jess has a bad attitude about the show. Maybe I need 2 guests on.
Can you tell that I love it, guys?
Yeah. What if we review Gone with the Wind, Jess?
Yeah, but I haven't seen that for a while.
Well, we could watch it again in a few days. So we're leaning towards Gone with the Wind. We watched it semi-recently. Okay? And let's go back into the random question second because this is a good question to talk about. Megan's random question. Why is the mom so ugly? She does look weird. What does she look like? She looks like somebody took a device on her face and took off all of her features.
Oh my gosh. What is that? I totally forgot about her, but she's hideous. No offense.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
I should bring her on the show. I think we might be able to get her on the show. Jess, if you talk for a minute, I'll see if I can get her on the show.
Okay. Well, I found this totally looks like the mom from Uncle Buck totally looks like Frodo Baggins. So there's that.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, she is a piece of work.
All right. Gone with the Wind. We have a reading assignment? No, the movie Gone with the Wind. We're gonna watch the movie Gone with the Wind. It is 4 hours, so it's very long, but pretty cool. Trisha says, "I love Gone with the Wind. I seen it at Cinemark twice." Okay, you said you were old, but I thought it came out in like the 30s. Ooh, crappy diss. Anybody?
That was good.
No.
Sorry, still reading comments.
Rob, if they did a remake, what would be different today?
What was that thing that we said they couldn't do? Oh yeah, the backfiring car.
You
Probably
couldn't
won't
do
be
that.
funny anymore.
I don't know. Who would play Uncle Buck? Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Or maybe John C. Riley or something.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I guess I'm just thinking of Step Brothers.
Yeah, maybe you are. Okay. Well, point is, I have brought the mom on the show. All right, guys. I figured out how to get the mom on the show, and there she is. She's our special. That's what we got to do when we don't have somebody. Just get a picture of a character from the movie, and oh yeah, that reminds me. I remembered something I need to do for the show.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, interesting tidbit. For what? Megan says it was originally supposed to be Danny DeVito. Amanda says, interesting tidbit. My aunt wrote a paper on how she believes that part of my family's orchard was shown in Gone with the Wind, based off of filming history and where their orchard was in relation to it. That's pretty cool. Ray says the movie would be terrible if it was redone. The humor would be totally different. Yeah. Yeah. DeVito would be pretty funny, though. I could feel that. What do you think, Mom from Uncle Buck? She's just looking at us.
I'm ugly.
I think I need a new face.
We are so stupid. Why are you guys watching this? Do something with your lives.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun for everyone. Anyway, okay, so we're going to watch Gone with the Wind next week. It is a long movie. Isn't it? Is it on Amazon? Did we rent it? I can't remember. I don't think we rented it.
No, it was.
I think it was free.
On something.
I think it was on Amazon Prime or something like that.
If you guys haven't seen this movie, you should watch it. It's so good.
I think it is worth seeing. I don't know. I don't think anybody would deny that it is pretty great. So, yeah, Gone with the Wind is next week. Remember to, if you haven't yet, like our Facebook page. That's it. You just click the like button, okay? Like the Facebook page so you can see when we go live and all that stuff. We also have the YouTube channel, so you can look that up. Look up Try Again Podcast on YouTube. You can find us there and follow the show there. We upload the show after it airs live. So, yeah, it's on YouTube as well. But it's the same thing that you're getting here. So if you're watching it live, you're doing one better anyway. And we also have the audio version that comes out usually the next day. So thank you for listening, Triers, and we'll see you next week.